Gentlemen, can you hear me properly? Is there an echo? Okay, good. So to start the program, let me introduce myself. I am Mukul Gupta. I am a director at Shakumbri Expo Impo Limited, which is a manufacturing company for sesame seed, and I am also a director at IOEPC this year. Good afternoon to everybody. We are all following the COVID protocol, so we have few people in the hall, and a lot of them are joining us online. Kindly put your mobile on silent mode, and we request everybody to just keep it that way. The third IOEPC Global Oilseed Conference is being held in the hybrid. May we request our chairman, Mr. Nilesh Veera, to kindly come on dais and start with his opening comment.
May I request all the speakers who are online to be muted, and also all the guests here present in person to keep your mobiles on the mute, or on you may shut it off if you want to, because otherwise we'll have this echoing sound or reverberating sounds which will be a problem. So I welcome you all, and first of all, if you remember, we had our physical meet IGOC 1 in Dubai in 2019. Then after, last year was a lockdown period due to COVID-19, and we only had virtual conference. This year, we thought that it would be prudent that people have not met each other, and a lot of business views need to be exchanged. And there was a possibility of holding this conference on a hybrid mode. So we've kept it in short. We expected guest headcount to be about 100, but it's overwhelming. We have almost about 140 here in person. And I guess I don't have the latest score, but virtually and physically, all would be collectively around 350-400 people. So that's a good number. Thank you all for joining this conference. We'll go with the national anthem, Indian national anthem first. May I request all of you to be on your feet. Thank you.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाए तव जय गाथा जय गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे
माता की जय. Thank you very much.
May I now request the Vice Chairman, Mr. Rutuparna Dole, our Honorary Secretary, Mr. Rajesh Beda, our Honorary Treasurer, Mr. Kulin Kotak, to come on the dais. The dais would have our 4 office bearers, including the Chairman, and they would start by lighting of the lamp for this auspicious beginning. Please. Can I invite Mr. Sanjeev and Rajesh Beda also to come to Kishore Bhai to come for the lighting of the lamp?
Yeah, please come forward.
And the Vice Chairman, Mr. Kushwan Jain as well.
Kushan.
एक ग्रुप मध्ये फोटो पण घेतले रमेश ग्रुप मध्ये उभं लॅम्प बोस सर्वांचं
May I now have the office bearers on stage, please? Kindly take your seats. Before the chairman makes his welcome speech to all, gentlemen, yes. May I now request Mr. Chairman Nilesh Veera to deliver his welcome speech. Following that would be an award for Dr. J.P. Mishra, an eminent scientist and former Director of Directorate of Groundnuts Research, who has done excellent work for development and promotion of not only groundnut but also sesame seeds and other oilseeds. His scientific advice and guidance has played a crucial role in the responding to the challenges. Under his guidance, the Council took a proactive approach, because of which Codex is in the process of establishing international standards for ready-to-eat groundnuts. He has been instrumental in guiding us on the crop survey and presentation of documentary films for showcasing the unique strengths of groundnut and sesame seeds export sector, GMP and GAP in various regional languages, so that as to help farmers achieve higher yields and better quality. In order to acknowledge excellent contribution made to the groundnut sector, the council would felicitate him after the opening remarks by the chairman. Chairman, the stage is all yours.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to one and all physically present here at Hotel St. Regis, Mumbai, and also on the virtual mode from across the world. It gives me immense pleasure and pride to welcome each one of you for being with us today at the 3rd IOP-EPC Global Oilseeds Conference, as we call it IGOC, on the hybrid mode, albeit with a heavy threat of ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. The speech is a little long, and I would, try and run as soon as possible, as fast as possible. But most of the points are relevant for our local trade, so I think I need to speak that. I would like to welcome the distinguished officials, participants, and the global speakers from supplying and the consuming countries of oilseeds who would be making their informative presentations and share their expert views. Friends, as you are aware, the Commerce and Industry Ministry of Government of India has set an ambitious export target of US dollars 400 billion for the financial year 2020-2021, out of which US dollars 1.7 million is the target set for oilseeds and oil sector. The government is also striving for achieving long-term targets of $2 trillion export contribution to the economy by the year 2030, while creating a global image of India Agri Export, that is IAE. I would like once again to appeal to all my exporter friends to introspect their existing capability and draw an action plan to target geographic location-wise market and try to increase export of existing plus their value-added products. Members may send their views to proposed marketing plan focusing a particular region or a country, challenges faced and suggestions on the same to the Council. It will be reviewed, and if it may be also recommended to the concerned Ministry, Government of India for their consideration. We assure you all possible support and cooperation to achieve the common goal of enhancing the export of oilseeds and oils from India. I and my office bearers had an opportunity of interacting with the top government officials in the ministry after I recently was elected as a chairman of the council for the second time on the 24th September 2021, and was very overwhelmed to observe their sincere approach and eagerness to understand the challenges faced by exporters and exploring ways to address the same. There is a paradigm shift in the approach towards export and exporters. I would also like to state the immense support from the Indian embassies located at various offices at Brussels in EU, Moscow in Russia, Dubai in UAE, in US, Cairo in Egypt, amongst others, with whom the Council has had close interaction in the recent past and have been proactive in their approach to support the cause of exporters and exports from India. The Council welcomes your views, challenges faced, if any, and suggestions on the same can be reviewed and recommended to the concerned Ministry, Government of India for their consideration. We assure you all possible support and cooperation to achieve the common goal of enhancing the export of oilseeds and oils from India. During September 2020, Indian sesame exports to EU faced huge challenges as there were many rapid alerts for detection of ethylene oxide, or as we call ETO, beyond the permissible levels. Many of these were found out of the purview of the laid down testing protocols at the EU end. The moment the matter was brought to notice of the Council, we immediately issued an advisory to all our members exporting to EU to ensure that their product is free from ETO residue and fulfills the EU regulations. To contain the situation, the Council adopted a proactive approach and effective steps, including temporary discontinuation of creation of sesame seed consignments intended for export to EU on their online portal sesame.net. This step temporarily halted the exports of sesame seed to EU between mid-October 2020 until mid-January 2021. For compliance with EC requirements, IOPPC team made all necessary revisions of the existing SOP as in started operating procedures that were in place for the issuance of official certificate requiring all 100% sesame seed consignments have to undergo pre-shipment testing for salmonella and pesticides, which includes ETO, as per the protocol and method prescribed by EU. Only those consignments which met all the requirements are now allowed to be shipped to EU. The rapid alerts have dropped to almost nil since then. Our council's SOP has been appreciated by different quarters in the government, and we have been able to set an example that a strong will of the industry and trade can instill confidence regarding quality of Indian agricultural export. I would like to compliment the team of IOPPC and industry with the trade for efforts taken to further enhance image of India as a consistent supplier of quality oilseeds in all markets. Friends, no one could ever imagine the severity of impact of COVID pandemic on global economy. During these turbulent times, many countries have realized over dependence on the supply network of selective countries and have chalked out constructive strategies to operate in these challenging times. However, many countries are now implementing inward-looking measures to protect their domestic markets in the form of export bans, import restrictions, and subsidies to import substituting industries to reduce dependence on imported goods and improve self-reliance. While some of these measures may be productive in the long run, counter-trade measures will be detrimental to global trade. In these challenging times, we need to ensure that detrimental trade barriers in the form of technical regulation, product standards, sanitary and phytosanitary, as we call SPS requirements, pesticide requirement, and other steps are not created. All international stakeholders need to extend cooperation and support to ensure continuance of free world trade. Besides all this, there are tormenting issues of multifold increase in ocean freights, availability of space on vessels, many lesser empty containers for exporters, much lesser empty containers for exporters, etc. Our council had taken up the matters with the government offices and the other requisite forums. We are hopeful that these issues would be sorted out in India and elsewhere for better times of business ahead. Friends, as you all are aware that the entire agriculture and food export sector is undergoing tumultuous change. The increasing health consciousness and food safety concerns worldwide is exerting pressures on all stakeholders in the supply chain. It is imperative that in the regime of changing requirements of importing countries, we have no option but to accept and embrace the changes and gear up fully to effectively respond to these challenges. In order to protect our long-term interest, it is again imperative for all of us to focus on quality upgradation and take all necessary measures, both voluntary and regulatory, to ensure that the products exported by us are in tune with the quality requirements of importing countries. This would help India further strengthen its image as a consistent supplier of quality oilseeds and oils in the world markets. To my fellow exporters, I can only say that we need to move from a reactive mindset to a proactive mindset. We cannot be digging wells to draw water every time that we face a fire. The Council welcomes your views, challenges faced, if any, and suggestions on the same, and can be reviewed and recommended to the concerned ministry, to the government. We assure you all possible support and cooperation to achieve a common goal of enhancing the export of oilseeds and oils from India. I wish to iterate the slogan voiced by our Honorable Prime Minister of India, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. Climate change can have negative effects on irrigated crop yields across agroecological regions, both due to temperature rise and changes in water availability. Rain-fed agriculture will be primarily impacted due to rainfall variability and reduction in number of rainy days. With vagaries of weather in many growing countries each year, the scientific crop survey and production estimate will be important event for all stakeholders to plan their export strategies. The Council has therefore conducted a crop survey of groundnut and sesame. The Council has therefore organized the crop survey for groundnut and sesame seeds, and the crop estimates along with the help of crop would be presented today. There also would be sessions on basket of value added and other agri commodities that are of participants' interests. Indian exporters will be felicitated for their excellent performance during the export award function that would be even later today. I urge members to utilize this third IOPPC Global Oilseeds Conference, IGOC 3, which has been specially designed to provide in-depth analysis of the groundnut and sesame crop situation in India, amongst other producing and bio-origins from across the globe. The conference is meant for discussing innovative ideas and exchanging information amongst the exporters and stakeholders of oilseeds and oil industry and trade at large. On behalf of the Council, I assure that Council will leave no stone unturned to take a rightful cause to see logical conclusion, and assure you that the suggestion and enhancing exports would be valued, evaluated, and taken up for consideration on the board of the Council for its implementation. With this, I conclude my opening remarks. Thank you very much. Jai Hind. May I call upon Dr. J.B. Mishra to come up on the dais. You may take your time. We understand that you will be a little slow in coming here. No issues. If somebody can help him come here to join him, give him a hand. Give a round of applause for Dr. J.B. Mishra. He has been a pillar of IOPPC for various issues of our products, for its technicalities, and when it comes to issues which need to be sorted within India and internationally both. Dr. J.B. Mishra. When it comes to issues
We now have the panel present and open the souvenirs as well after this.
May I call upon Sanjeev and Kishore to join us on the dais for the souvenir that we now going to open. Yeah. I call him Khush Shah. He is Kushwant Jain, our immediate past chairman, and my lovely dear friend. Khush Shah, कहाँ हो? आ जाओ ऊपर डायस पे. Khush is in Kushwant and Sai is in Big Brother in Marwadi.
Well, all those who can't get their hands on the souvenirs may contact office bearers to get a copy. IOP EPC will be more than happy to serve you a copy if you need one, so please contact our office. Gentlemen, may I ask you to please take your seats? Can somebody on the stage come and clean it up? Okay, now time to start the session of our sesame seeds first. We will request all the participants to reserve their questions till the completion of the session. After that, we will have a Q&A on the website itself. All the people who are logging in, please understand that we will log out of this session and you have to go to the rooms which will become live for the Q&A session. For now, let me introduce the speakers to you. We have Mr. Asifa from Ethiopia, who would be presenting us the Ethiopian sesame seed scenario. We have with us online Mr. Alok Bhargava from Prarambh Agri, Dubai, who would give us a presentation on West Africa, Mozambique and Tanzania. We also have with us Mr. Tarun Chawla from ETG UAE, presenting us the outlook of sesame seeds in China. Mr. Gailey from Sudan Chamber of Commerce will give us his ideas on sesame production and the crop trends. Mr. Takafumi Hoshino from Itochu Corporation Japan will talk about Japan. Mr. Patri, our very old friend from Global Grains Ingredients UK, will talk about EU and UK. Mr. Suhail will be talking about Latin America and Central America. He's based out of Guatemala. Mr. Sanjeev Sharma from Olam International, everybody knows him. He'll be talking about the global supply and demand scenario, and that would be something to watch out for. And our very own Jay Chandarana, the co-convener for sesame seed panels, will talk about Indian sesame seed scenario. The presentations will go live in a bit. Everybody type your seats. The presentations are going up online in a bit. apologies, gentlemen. Seems like Mr. Asifa is not able to join us. So we'll just go through his presentation. The outline for Ethiopia as the presentation goes. Ethiopia, the land of crop diversity. I don't think so I have to read it all out for you guys. It's on your stage and on your screens. You have a better look at that. Let me just come to straight some points because, okay, yeah. The growing areas, sesame growing areas in many different regions of the country. You see it on the map. I'm not very familiar with that, but everybody else probably is. You can take screenshots. Ethiopian sesame seed production trends. Here is a chart for the last 5 years.
Hold on. It's not reflecting your speech and it's a little lag.
I know, because you guys the people on their mobiles are seeing it correctly. So we have the sesame production for the last 5 years, and this is from 15 to 20. Production in 2015 was 3,088, and this year it's expected to be 269, which is significantly low from the numbers shown before, or is it the area? I don't know. Ethiopian sesame seeds exports, we see a declining trend from the peak of 392 to below 200,000 tons. The major Ethiopian seed export destinations, UAE seems to be the top destination, probably for a transshipment to other areas in the region, and Israel being the second one for that. Vietnam, of course, buys a lot of these seeds for oil crushing and making different products. India imports a small quantity for hulling as well, the cheaper ones. China, Turkey remains, and they remain regular buyers of this quality as well. ECX traded from November 2020 to September 21 at 155,000 tons. Last year's carryover were 30,000 tons. Export performance of new crop is expected to be 181. Inventory till September is estimated to be 3,134. So all in all, till 30th September, total inventory is about 8,000 tons. The situation at the moment, due to instability in few sesame growing areas of the country, there is a slight decline in sesame area coverage. Total estimated area coverage is 55,000 hectares, 550,000 hectares. Last year it was 6 lakh hectares. Compared to last year, there is a slight decline of 50,000, which is about 10%, of course. Fortunately, in most emerging sesame growing areas like Oromia, Somalia and southern regions, sesame area coverage is improving. The weather condition in almost all growing areas is very conducive. As a result, improved productivity is expected. Current situation, no weather catastrophe affecting the sesame area is observed this year. No signs of pest infestation. Rainfall is stable, and therefore the decline in the area coverage is expected to trade off by improved productivity. Expectations and recommendations. Globally, in most countries, oil crushing factories are open, restaurants are open, schools, feeding is started, and health awareness of sesame is globally increased. Therefore, demand is expected to be high and supply is expected to be low. So an upward price trend is expected from the lower levels. The markup of trading house, supply chain managing companies, sesame value added products, producers and retail is very high as compared to the price paid to sesame farmers. This is discouraging farmers to produce sesame, and many are switching to other products. Gradually, the supply of demand seeds in global market will decline significantly until all stakeholders of the industry work together to improve both price payment of the farmers and sesame productivity at farmer level. Thank you so much. They have invited us to join their webinar on oilseeds and pulses international to be held in November 23rd, 2021. Kindly register. Their website is mentioned above. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Asifa. And now the next presentation that will go out is from Mr. Alok Bhargava from Prarambh Agri. I'll just pin him on the screen for you. Yes, Mr. Alok, you can unmute and go ahead with the introduction and then with your presentation, which I would be running from my end. If you want, you can run it from your end if you want.
That would be better.
Okay.
If possible.
So, yes, that would be possible. Yes, now you can go ahead.
I can. You have shared the screen.
Yes. You are live now.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. And first of all,